So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very tired day, so excuse me, but I need this coffee very much. So today I decided to do a comparison video, Japanese hairdresser versus Australian hairdresser, because I thought, okay, the time is right. My hair is freshly dyed. I did it two days ago here in Mackay in Australia. As you can see how it turned out. So they put in a color, like they dyed it blonde, you know, the regrowth, and then they put in a purple semi-permanent color, which I do not like it. I'm not particularly fond of this color, but well, I decided, since it is freshly dyed, to go ahead, you know, the time is now perfect to do a comparison video. And I will put in here like the video that I did back in Tokyo, so you can see and compare, you know, the two videos, because previously I promised you to do a comparison video and to talk about my experiences with hairdressers there and here. So I will compare 4 parameters. This is what I decided. I will compare the friendliness, and I will compare the price, of course, and then obviously the result, which is on my head, and then I will compare the all-in-all atmosphere, you know, and how it felt to go to the hairdressers abroad. Okay, so let's just get started. Don't lose time. So as you can see now, I'm some kind of grayish blonde, a little bit of platinum blonde, which, yeah, I do like it, but it's just not what I have asked for here in Australia. So okay, I mean, I can deal with it, because I used to be platinum blonde a couple of years ago, or 2 years ago, and I really liked it much. But they put in this semi-permanent grayish thing, and I'm not particularly a fan of it. So okay, as you can see in my previous video in Tokyo, they did a very warm golden blonde, which I really loved, you know. So yeah, I guess the Japanese guys did their job far better, I believe. Yeah, this is my impression. But when it comes to friendliness, you know, when I compare both experiences, I went in to the Japanese hair salon, which was just around the corner, you know, where we lived in Kamado in Tokyo. And I think the Japanese guys win, because they were so friendly. I mean, they didn't understand a word I was saying, and despite the language barrier that we had, sorry, somebody's at the door. You know, they were so friendly. They tried to help me, you know, like all of them kind of, you know, picked their smartphones and went in, you know, with the Google Translator, and it was very funny. So when we made that appointment, while here in Australia, you know, it was a hairdresser in a mall. Maybe that was a mistake, I don't know. So they were not even busy, but they were so like, okay, we do not appreciate you so much as a customer. So that was my impression. But well, when it came to friendliness, I think the Japanese guys win. And throughout my appointment in Japan, as I said, like the hairdresser, the senior hairdresser, didn't understand a word in English, and then his assistant, he could speak like 10% English, but he really tried hard to make me feel comfortable, and, you know, serving me coffee and a juice and water, I don't know. So yeah, all in all, I think the Japanese win when it comes to friendliness. And then what else did I say? The price, yeah, in Japan it was Japan would naturally be pricier, but I had like they had a special offer, so I think I paid 42 euros for all of it. Like, they cut my hair, they dyed it, and then shampoo and conditioner, and then washing, and then drying, blow drying, and then the hairstyle. So that would be the whole package. And then here in Australia, I bought a package as well. It was around 72 euros, so slightly more expensive, but it included basically the same program. Yes, but then they forgot kind of to like, I have bangs, and they forgot to trim the bangs, and I, you know, because I was so disappointed, or slightly disappointed in color, you know, it was all gray, and yesterday before I washed it, today I washed it, it was blue here. Now you can see the silvery sheen here, like the shine. It was blue, it was basically blue, you know, here. So today it looks okay, because it looks like silver or something. Yeah. So the price here, the price was okay, I guess, but you know, the result, you know, yeah. And let us move to the result. The result, I don't know. I was way more content with Japanese, I believe, because though I do not appreciate it to look too orangey or too yellowy, you know, because I don't want it to look cheap. I think the Japanese guys made a way better job, you know, because they somehow knew exactly what to do, and they did it. And those girls yesterday or 2 days ago here in Australia, they were kind of like, one was like continuously going and asking the other one, you know, like for advice. Does this look good? How shall we do it, you know, in order to get rid of the yellow and the orange? So they seemed quite unsure of what they were doing, but I'm not an expert, so I just let them do, you know. And then all of a sudden, you know, they blow dry my hair. I mean, I saw it even when it was wet, you know, you could see the blow, and I was like, oh shit. But then, yeah, you know, you see how it turned out. Well, that's the way it goes. And yeah, so when it comes to the result, I think the Japanese guys again win. Like, they win because, yeah, it looked more natural. I guess it looked more natural, and I think, you know, in terms of what I asked for, you know, they really provided. So I guess again, 1 point for the Japanese guys. And then last but not least, the all-in-all atmosphere that I found myself, you know, during the appointment. I think again the Japanese guys win because the treatment was, you know, it was like, I don't know, you get treated in Japan so friendly. It was my first time ever in Japan. We spent 5 weeks, and the last 2 weeks we were in Tokyo. And you know, when it comes to customer service, I think no one can beat them. They were so friendly, and although we have that language barrier, which I believe was difficult for them, and then for me again, of course, as well, but I think no one can beat them. Yeah, it's just, you know, from the moment that I walked in that hairdresser, from the moment that I walked into the hair salon, you know, making that appointment, to coming to this appointment, and they seated me, and they immediately, you know, provided me with magazines, you know, in English, and they tried everything, you know, to make me feel comfortable, like talking to me, you know, that little English that they were able to speak, you know, they kind of tried to speak to me and asked me if I wanted a coffee, a juice, or water, you know, like served it immediately, and everything was so fine, you know. And then in Australia it was all a little bit, I don't know, like they took it for granted, and I think they left me with the impression that they took customers for granted. So maybe I just chose the wrong salon, I don't know. But in the end, I mean, the girls were very friendly, you know, like there's no critique here. But I would have preferred, I don't know, would have preferred them to ask me if I wanted something to drink, you know, because in the beginning they made me wait like half an hour because this blonde expert that they had said would treat my hair, he wasn't obviously there. I don't know, maybe he was sick that day and we just couldn't make it that day to work, I don't know. So they did not inform me on that, but they made me sit there for half an hour and said, okay, somebody else would take care of my hair, but I don't know. Just they made me wait, and okay, I had my iPhone, so I kept, you know, I kept Googling and reading news until it was my turn, but I felt a little uncomfortable. And then they dyed the hair, and it took 3 hours, whilst in Japan it took me 1.5 hours, and I hate sitting in a hairdresser. And last but not least, they forgot to trim my bangs. And only when I was already in a car, I was like, they did not trim my bangs, you know, like I had to trim them today on my own. Probably not very professionally, but well, what can one do? So I was quite disappointed actually. So I guess when we compare now the Australian and the Japanese experience, I would definitely go with the Japanese experience, because I think if it hadn't, like, only the price, you know, the price was half the price in Japan because it was an offer. So if it hadn't been for the offer, I would have paid more in Japan. So okay, maybe in that respect, Australia wins this 1 point, but the other 3 points, like the other 3 parameters that I chose, you know, in order to be able to evaluate my experience, you know, would definitely be, yeah, I'd definitely be rooting for Japan, you know, when it comes to hairstyles and hairdressing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative. I hope you learned something, because I definitely learned something, you know, going to foreign hairdressers and not being sure if they understand exactly what I want. Not because they're not able to understand me, but maybe because I'm not able to make them understand exactly what I want, you know, what I prefer when it comes to dyeing my hair. Especially because, you see, this is very light blonde, and I'm usually, like, my hair is dark brown. It's not dark brown, it's a chocolatey brown, you know, maybe even a light brown, because there are people who have really dark brown hair, like my sister. But yeah, you know, I know it's very special to dye hair, and so I think I will dedicate this video to Daniel, my very personal hairdresser and stylist back home in Vienna, whom I really love to pieces, because he's been, I mean, as a woman you have to take care of so many things, and he really takes care of that hair of mine. So, by the way. Alright, so take care, and then of course follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook if you want to. That's my music page, Golden Axe Music, and I would really appreciate it if you came back for more, because I have so much more coming on. So make sure you tune in and you follow me. Yeah, so bloop 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 bloop.